Call the Board of Health to order. Begin with the roll call of members.
Board Member Gall.
Here.
Board Member Lopez. Here. Board Member Real. Here. Board Member Pecora. Here. Board President Roper.
Here. The minutes for the June 10th meeting are not available yet, so we'll move on from that. I have no correspondence. Does anyone else in the Board of Health have any correspondence? All right. Petition and hear visitors. I don't think I see any visitors not associated with the city. So we'll move on from that. We have no old business on the agenda. Our first new business item is a request for a waiver for 251 Congress Street, which is currently owned by Dustin and Andrea Wackowitz of Kingston, PA.
Yes, the city received a waiver packet for 251 Congress Street. The packet was in good order. The applicants met all the criteria. Therefore, the city would ask to be ordered to, number one, move to have the property declared a public nuisance, and two, move to approve the waiver for 251 Congress Street.
Motion, we declare 251 Congress Street public nuisance.
Didn't hear any details about the property first?
Wow, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Here. Wasn't familiar with the houses and sure. I'd like to know what property we're talking about, not just.
Sure.
Yep, we have a deed in our packet here. And of course, the order. There's additional questions, or we'll entertain a second.
I'll second.
Do a roll call when you're ready.
Board Member Gall.
Yes.
Board Member Lopez. Yes. Board Member Real. Yes. Board Member Pecora.
Yes.
Board President Roper.
Yes. All right, we'll move on to 6. You need to make a motion to waive. Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry, yes. A motion to accept the waiver. Make a motion to accept the waiver for 251 Congress Street. A second. Roll call?
Board Member Gall.
Yes.
Board Member Lopez. Yes. Board Member Real. Yes. Board Member Pecora.
Yes.
Board President.
Yes. All right, now we'll move on to 6 possible nuisance properties for Board of Health action. And we are going to begin this evening with 24 Jerome Avenue.
Yes, thank you. The city calls Mr. Plowman as its witness for tonight's hearing. Sir, if you could raise your right hand. You sort of tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so you got it. Yes. And, sir, what's your name?
Raymond Plowman?
And you're employed
Yes.
in what capacity?
I'm the health director here in the city of Bradford.
And you've been in that capacity how long?
Approximately,
And you were employed prior to that?
yes, I was property maintenance officer here in the city of Bradford for, come on.
And prior to that, you were in the construction industry?
Yes,
So you have a decade's worth of construction knowledge and history and employment, right? Correct.
Correct.
Okay. And your current employment, you receive special certifications and or licenses,
yes,
and those require annual updates, renewals of that nature.
correct,
And you're familiar with the International Property Maintenance Code.
yes.
I would offer Mr. Plowman as an expert in tonight's proceedings.
Thank you.
In the course of your employment, you're familiar with the property at 24 Jerome Avenue.
Yes.
And to your knowledge, who owns 24 Jerome Avenue?
Donald Phillips?
I'm showing you what I've marked as exhibits A1 through A28. These are photographs taken personally by you, correct?
Correct.
They were taken June 16th of this year.
Yes.
And those photographs accurately depict the content as of the date you took those photographs.
Yes.
I would move for the admission of exhibits A1 through A28.
They are accepted.
Now, when it comes to 24 Jerome Avenue, this property was condemned August 5th of 2024, correct?
Correct.
Focusing on the photographs, the depictions of the photographs, did you observe any of the roof or shingles of this property?
Yes. The roof on one side, the shingles, the asphalt shingles are sliding off. And underneath them asphalt shingles is a layer of cedar shingles.
Is this over the entire roof?
The one half of the roof is in fair condition, the other half of the roof is in poor condition, you can see asphalt shingles.
And did you make any observations regarding the siding or the paint on siding?
The paint on the entire exterior is in poor condition, failed, and in.
And the pictures depict the front porch and handrails. What did you observe regarding the front porch and handrails?
The handrails on the lower portion of the patch from any type of, from the lower stairway up there.
Did you observe any issues with the foundation at all?
The foundation in the rear, the blocks have shifted, become loose and moving.
And is the exterior of the property being maintained?
At the time of this visit, the exterior of the property, the grass was extremely high. It appeared that somebody had made an attempt to mow a portion of it and blew the grass just directly out of the road. When I went by there today, I would say about 98% of the property, maybe 99% of the property has been mowed.
Were you able to observe the interior of the structure?
Yes, there were rear windows.
And what did you observe?
That it appears that somebody had made an attempt to gut portions of the house and also they had other portions.
And is this property, is the structure secured?
The property seems to be pretty good.
And all the conditions you testified to violate the International Property Maintenance Code, correct?
Right.
And is it your expert opinion tonight that 24 Jerome Avenue is a public road? I have no further question.
I have a couple, from the information you've given us, it appears that, property maintenance has written, fair number of violations against this property.
Yes.
Okay. And no action has been taken on any of the violations, is that correct?
The property, the weeds were mowed at some point throughout the course, it's the weekend I would guess. Other than that, there's nothing.
Okay. Have we had any direct contact with the owners?
I have spoke with him probably 2 years ago. That was the last time I had spoke with him. I did have a court hearing with him late last year, regarding the grass not being maintained. I did not personally speak with him. Before somebody from the magistrate's office and spoke with them, and he basically said that he's been defending here.
Okay, and, there's a note in here that, the electric is still active, the gas is still active at the house?
It appears that way, yes.
Okay, and any, activity at the house as far as, police activity, squatters, anything that we know of?
Nothing nice. Got off the way with person.
Okay, that's all my questions. Status of taxes.
There are delinquent 2024 real estate taxes based on public record of $1,222.99.
And we encourage Mr. Floyd, maybe to meet criteria for a waiver.
It's extremely difficult to contact with Mr. Phillips. I've tried multiple times to reach out to him. I've sent him letters, signs, issued citations, you name it.
And it also appears from the information you gave us, at least just for the record, that he owes about $2,000 in water, sewer, and storm fees, and about $1,200 in garbage. For the record. Mhm. No additional comments, I'll entertain a motion to declare this a public nuisance.
I'll make a motion to declare 24 Jerome Avenue public nuisance.
Second. We'll do a roll call vote on that?
Board Member Gall.
Yes.
Board Member Wilk.
Yes.
Board Member Real.
Yes.
Board Member Pecora.
Yes.
Board President Brooks.
Yes. Move on to 72 Holly Avenue.
Mr. Plowman, of course, you're familiar with the property at 72 Holly Avenue, correct? And to your knowledge, who owns 72 Holly?
Michael and Brenda Bailey.
Have you had any direct contact with Mr. and Mrs. Bailey?
I have spoke with Mr. Bailey one time, maybe twice. What that mean?
What were the results of those conversations?
At one point he told me that he had a loan secured for a certain amount of money and came to rehab the structure.
I'm showing you what it marked as exhibits A1 through A36. These are photographs taken by you, correct?
That's good.
They were taken by you on June 16th of this year,
Yes.
and they accurately depict the contents of these photographs as of that date, correct?
Yes.
I move the admission of exhibits A1 through A36.
They are accepted.
Now, when it comes to 72 Holly Avenue, this property was condemned December 15th of 2021, correct?
Yes.
There are numerous photographs. We'll go through the depictions of those if we could. Did you make any observations regarding the siding of this structure?
The siding on the entire structure is in poor condition, to make it be replaced.
Now, when you say poor condition, can you elaborate?
The shingles, that, rather be deteriorated to the point to where I was thinking going,
And the photographs depict the roof. What is the regarding the roof, if anything?
half of the roof is covered with tarp, which, the tarp is becoming deteriorated, ripped and torn. The tarp has exceeded the, property maintenance, code, which allows a tarp to be on the roof of the structure for no more than 30 days. The other half of the roof, the shingles are in poor condition, we would also need to be replaced.
Do you know if Mr. Bailey has made any attempt to move forward on fixing the roof?
It appears that he has, torn half of the roof off and tarped it, and I have not seen any progress for quite some time.
Did you make any observations regarding windows on the structure?
It appears that the handful of windows had been replaced. Meanwhile, there is several windows that are in poor condition, broken, or missing. One of them at least is missing.
The photographs depict the foundation. Is there any foundation issue?
There is some pretty significant cracking and I believe 2 or 3 spots on this foundation. This is a crawl space under this house.
And did you observe any overgrown trees on the property?
There's 2 overgrown trees, one which is causing structural damage to the structure itself. The other tree is overhanging neighboring property, which could potentially pose a threat to the structure on neighboring property. It could be a shed.
Did you observe the interior of the structure?
I did observe portions of the interior through a broken window, that shows some water damage coming through the rear of the, back porch. Also, the rest of the house looks like it has sustained some water damage due to the roof that had previously been on it, most likely pretty significant.
Has the lawn been maintained?
The lawn is not being maintained, it is, being maintained on the front of the house by a neighbor.
And those conditions you testified to violate the International Property Maintenance Code, correct?
That's correct.
And are you aware of any natural gas or electric service?
I believe there is one service currently at the gas system.
And it's based on your, based on your expert opinion that, 72 Holly Avenue is a public nuisance, correct?
Correct.
I have no further questions.
Okay, let's see here. You did state that you've had contact, with this property owner, but it's been difficult to maintain any type of contact to get much done. There are some violations written against the property. The electric service is currently on. The property appears to be somewhat secured. Activity at the property, does it appear, is that clean as far as squatters, police activity?
The structure is not secured.
Okay.
The sliding door does open. I
Okay.
did not make that for the structure.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, there is an ex-police officer who lives directly next to this house. I think he keeps pretty close eye on things.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say that door in the back that you said was unsecured looks new.
Yeah.
Fairly, so.
Where did you see violation?
Um, is this, or is this just a report? I didn't read down through it.
Oh, okay.
I guess the only other thing for the record, is, these, owners do have another rental property at 18 Miller Street.
Yes.
And is that property within code currently?
Probably, yeah,
Okay,
yes.
all right. Okay, that's all my questions.
Have we issued any fines against this property?
Entertain motion if there's no additional questions.
I'll make a motion, we declare 72 Holly Avenue a public nuisance.
I'll second.
All right, we'll do a roll call on that.
Board member, Board member Gall,
Yes.
Board member Lopez,
Yes.
Board member Rio,
Yes.
Board member Cora,
Yes.
Board President Little.
Yes. We'll move on to 243 Jackson.
Mr. Plowman, you're familiar with 15 Park Street? Oh, excuse me.
243 Jackson.
Thank you. 243 Jackson Avenue, correct?
Correct.
And you had occasion to take photographs of this property?
Yes.
Backing up a little bit though, with 243 Jackson Avenue, who owns 243 Jackson Avenue?
Linda Allen, Linda Georgia.
And have you had any contact with Ms. Allen?
Yes, I did speak to him soon.
And what were the results of that conversation?
He does not feel that there is, much necessary to be done. Sure.
And the photographs you took, they were taken by you on June 16th of this year, correct?
Correct.
And those are what I've marked as exhibits A1 through A25, correct?
Correct.
And those actually depict the property as of that date.
Yes.
I moved the image of exhibits A1 through A25.
Accepted.
And this property was ultimately condemned April 13th of 2022, correct?
Correct.
And this property has a history of code violations, correct?
Correct.
Now, focusing on the photograph and what they depict, sir, did you make any observations regarding the roof of this structure?
The roof on the entire structure is in extremely poor condition, including the valleys, the overhangs, the gutter system, all the components of the roof.
So the shingles are rotted, deteriorating,
Correct.
lost home. Any observations regarding peeling paint on the structure?
Yes. There's peeling feet throughout the entire exterior of the structure.
Okay.
And the photograph depicts the front porch, the concrete front porch steps.
Yes, so the concrete steps leading to the front of the house are cracked and broken and, missing the cinder block on the side.
And did you observe any overgrown trees or foliage?
That's
I think
one
you're right.
tree, side of the house,
We were also,
and, house, some damage to the roof, and potentially would be causing damage to the foundation.
The photographs also depict an upper balcony. Did you observe any conditions regarding this upper balcony?
Yes, there's some severe deterioration, specifically to the handrails and sections of that company.
And is the property secured?
The property appears to be secured. I do not make them to.
And is there any active natural gas service?
The natural gas service has been terminated, and it appears that the gas company has cut the line, like put the ground and yeah.
And the conditions you testified to violate the International Property Maintenance Code, correct?
Correct.
And it's based on your opinion that 43 Jackson Ave is a public nuisance.
Yeah.
I have no further questions.
Okay, also, I guess I have a question, maybe I should ask this at the last property. In the information you provided us, it states the garbage service has been inactive. I didn't think we could make a garbage service inactive in the city at this point.
The water shut off.
It can't be a place shut. This is, I don't know if I'm out of line here, Counselor, but I'm familiar with this house because I was doing some work on a house next to it probably 3 winters ago. And the previous owner had basically moved out of the house, left all the utilities on. The house was unsecured. I was up there with former DTMI employees several times. There were squatters coming and going. Winter came and some of the windows were open and even though the heat was on, the pipes froze. And as I was working next door, I noticed ice coming down the side of the house. The water line, the back left side of the house had froze and over 100,000 gallons of water went through that inside of the house, which was not in bad condition. The outside, inside of the house was really nice. The outside was a shambles, but that destroyed the inside, and it just all got pumped by some pump out of the basement into the sewer. At that point, the water authority shut the water.
Okay.
And then it was sold after the person moved out and been unsecured and was an issue for several years. Did you have any ability to look inside the home at all? It's over 100,000 gallons of water. You know, from the second floor coming down and the first floor then into the basement.
and it was purchased after that.
Right. But at the point that not happened, the inside of the house was in immaculate condition. It had a lot of personal effects from previous owners still in there.
I think it also can be stated from the information we've been given for the record that this property owner has at least 4 other pieces of property in the city currently. 2 of them appear to be not active, purchased out of the depository, whatever. One on York Street, which is vacant land, and possibly one on Summer Street, which is an active rent. So they do have other possible problem properties within the city.
Mr. President, but I believe, Mr. Schreiber, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe there's also some properties there in the daughters that are connected to these.
One actually in front of the Board of Health.
Okay. All right. I'll entertain a motion if there's no additional questions.
My favorite go-to is we tried to motivate her by finding this property, let her know that the city does think it's a public nuisance.
We have issued a few fines.
Okay.
She has not been cited in the magistrate's meeting.
You've been having a brother contained in law just a couple days ago.
Or she,
He was in yeah, for the back. Not the entire, portion. Tree and meeting.
Looking forward to it.
Real?
What is the status of the other rental, the other property that she owns in the city?
Whatever my brother lives in, I'm not sure what's the deal with the 194. I believe 85 is vacant. I'm really not overly familiar with all of her properties.
Okay.
They do believe that 85 is for governments and some.
94 is on the high side, it's out there. 85, I didn't even know she found it until I said it wasn't for that.
194 may actually be the possible.
When was it, frat house years ago?
Big White House.
So the garage was up back. Then it was a duplex for a while.
Could be a nice house, but by the looks of it, driving by.
I'll make a motion to declare 243 Jackson Avenue public nuisance.
I'll second.
Okay, roll call.
Board Member Dahl?
Yes.
Board Member Lopez?
Yes.
Board Member Real?
Yes.
Board Member Cora?
Yes.
Board President Cook?
Yes. All right, I believe the next house is 15 Park.
Now we're on the 15 Park. Sir, you're familiar with the property at 15 Park Street?
Yes.
Are you aware of who owns 15 Park Street?
Gary Reed,
Have you any contact with Mr. Reed?
minimal contact with government structure.
And what was the result of those contacts?
He claims that he had planned to rehab this house and move into it at some point. And also the vegetation that is not being maintained in the front of the structure is there, so that people do not enter the structure.
And you've had occasion to take photographs of 15 Park Street?
Yes,
I'm showing you what I marked as exhibits A1 through A28. Those are the photographs, correct, you took on June 16th of this year.
correct.
And those photographs accurately depict the property as of that date.
Yes,
I moved the images of exhibits A1 through A28.
Accepted.
Now, this property, this was condemned September 19th of 2022, correct?
correct.
And focusing on the conditions of the property that you observed, well, first start with the siding. Did you make any observations regarding the siding?
The siding does have some broken tiles. It was in fair but poor condition.
So the tiles were fixed, the siding passed code.
Yes.
Okay.
It would need to be cleaned if the entire structure cleaned it like that.
Any observation regarding the windows of the structure?
The windows are all in good condition, peeling paint, pop glazing, and at least one window is broken on the interior. They're basically in full condition.
The photographs also depict the foundation and structure of the house. What did you observe regarding that?
The stone piers underneath the house are leaning. And the house appears to be shifting, which is creating, movement that, the skirting on the house is actually being crushed by the weight of the house.
You were able to observe the crawl space?
Yes.
And what did you observe?
There was strong odor coming from underneath this house, which part of it may have been from some stagnant water that was under the house. The crawl space is wide open, and I believe that it most likely is probably a skunk that was under there. There was an odor of skunk smell. I don't believe that the skunk had sprayed under the house. I believe the skunk had probably sprayed and went under the house.
And you testified that Ms. Reed has overgrown shrubbery in front of the house to keep away intruders. Did you observe overgrown trees, foliage, anything like that?
The entire property is overgrown. It has not been maintained for several years.
Focusing on the roof, did you make any observations regarding the roof?
The roof, the shingles are, weathered, they are cupped, quite a few shingles are cupped, and the asphalt shingles that, live their life basically, they're due to be replaced.
And on the, focusing on the roof, any observations regarding the fascia of the soffit?
The fascia soffit, is deteriorated and becoming detached in a few different areas, doing paint, poor condition.
And is this property secured?
Property appears to be secured out in the country.
Did you observe the interior at all?
Through, the front window, I did observe that the property is being used for, number one, storage of different belongings and, I'm not sure what the items are and, it's partially gutted on the interior,
And does this property have a history of code violations?
yes.
Are you aware of any electric service?
The electric service is, from
Any gas service?
the gas meter is from the,
And the conditions you testified to violate the International Property Maintenance Code?
yes,
And based on those conditions and your observations, in your expert opinion, is 15 Park Street a public nuisance?
yes.
Okay, for the record, by the information you gave us, it appears that Mr. Reed, has no other property in the city other than his own, personal structure.
He resides at another location.
I think there was an issue up there with the deed is actually in someone else's name, it wasn't,
That's correct.
so it's not actually his. Once the deed's changed in the last couple of months.
And it appears that just recently, this, after a fourth violation, is now in Judge Luther's office, to proceed. I've nothing else other than those two comments. Anything additional?
President Roper, just a question. If Mr. Reed's not the owner, who is the owner?
No, he is the owner of this property.
Oh,
The house on High Street, there was some dealings recently where it came out that it was never conveyed in his name.
that's fine. I
That's-
just listening for,
Yeah, Jack probably familiar with it.
Okay, so there may be another piece of property that's kind of that he may be involved in. Okay.
That's his address is 143 High Street. Not this property address.
Right.
Okay,
But better refer to the property on High Street given someone else's name. It's listed as his.
make a motion that we declare 143 High Street a public.
No.
Oh, we'll try it. How about let's try to do,
Park Street.
I'll make a motion that we declare 15 Park Street a public nuisance.
With that number stuck in your head.
I did.
Second. All right, we'll do a roll call.
Board Member Galt.
Yes.
Board Member Roper.
Yes.
Board Member Rio.
Yes.
Board Member Fiscora.
Yes.
Board President Phil.
Yes. Okay, 382 Congress Street.
And Mr. Plowman, you're familiar with the property, 382 Congress Street, correct?
Correct.
And to your knowledge, who owns 382 Congress?
Tara Hensley,
Have you had any contact with Ms. Hensley?
I have not.
And you had occasion photographs of 382 Congress Street, correct?
Correct.
Tell me what I've marked as exhibits A1 through A23. Those are the photographs personally taken by you on June 16th of this year, correct?
Correct.
And those photographs accurately depict the property as of that date.
Yes.
And move for the admission of exhibits A1 through A23.
Accepted.
382 Congress Street, that was condemned October 24th of 2018, correct?
Correct.
Focusing on the photographs admitted as exhibits, They depict the foundation, and some severe issues. What did you observe regarding those issues?
The foundation is in severely poor condition, deteriorated, shifting, cracking, movement. All of the, it's, this foundation is in bad shape.
There are present large cracks in the foundation,
Yes,
both on the exterior and interior of the basement.
yes.
What did you observe regarding the front porch?
The front porch, is going to move.
And the windows, any observations regarding the windows?
All of the windows, are needed paint.
There are pictures that appear to be missing a downspout or some gutter issues. What did you observe regarding any downspout or gutters?
Two of the downspouts on the structure are missing, which has also created some severe foundation problems.
So it's the missing downspout has led to the water damage on the basement.
In spots, it has not contributed to all of the foundation.
Okay. Any observation or any debris around the property?
Yes, there is some debris specifically in the rear and inside of the property.
You were able to observe the interior of the basement,
Yes,
and how so?
I was able to look in between a basement hatch that has been covered by a piece of plywood. There was a gap in between the bottom of the top frame and the piece of plywood.
And is the structure otherwise secure?
It is not secure.
And how is it not secure?
The rear sliding door is unlocked. I did not make entry.
Were you able to observe the interior of the first floor of the structure?
Yes.
Okay, and what did you observe, if anything?
There's maybe used for storage, specifically fuels, things of that nature.
And this property has a history of code violations?
Yes.
And are you aware of the status of any electric service?
The electric service drop is detached from the front of the structure and it's being held up by a piece of wire. The meter reads 0. I was unable to find any estimations.
And based on your testimony, those conditions violate the International Property Maintenance Code.
Yes.
And it's in your expert opinion that 382 Congress Street is a public nuisance.
Yes.
I have nothing further, Mr. President.
Okay. According to the information you provided us, the water service was turned off in 2006. So can we assume this structure has not been occupied since 2006?
I would assume.
Okay. It appears from the pictures that some substantial renovation work has been started since 2006, if I use that as a starting point.
So it appears that the structure was recently had a new roof. It was recently re-sided. But unfortunately, with conditions of the foundation and the negligence of the rest of the structure is in poor condition, and not to mention, property maintenance is constantly trying to get this property in order to maintain the grass.
And then for the record, I'll note that she owns 1, 2, 3 additional rental properties, plus a 4th rental property in joint ownership with some other people. And then, of course, her personal residence. And I notice on here that her current fine violation is standing at $170. So this property has been cited. I no other comments or questions.
We declare 382 Congress Street a public nuisance.
Board Member Gall.
Yeah.
Board Member Lopez.
Yes.
Board Member Real.
Yes.
Board Member Pecora.
Yes.
Board President Robinson.
Yes. Our next property is 253 South Avenue.
Mr. Plowman, you're familiar with the property at 253 South Avenue, correct?
Correct.
And to your knowledge, who owns this property?
This is Cornelius.
Have you had any contact with Mr. Cornelius?
Yes, we've had multiple conversations with Mr. Cornelius regarding a waiver.
And what were the results of that conversation?
We have failed to receive mailings back from Mr. Cornelius.
And you've had occasion to take photographs of this property,
Yes,
showing you what I've marked as exhibits A1 through A19. These are the photographs you personally took on June 16th of this year, correct?
correct.
And they accurately depict the property as of that date.
Yes,
I move for the admission of exhibits A1 through A19.
Accepted.
Property was condemned on April 5th of 2024, correct?
right.
And the pictures we submitted as evidence depicts, we'll start with the front porch. Is it a two-story front porch?
The front porch is yes.
And what did you observe regarding that front porch?
There's some severe deterioration. The front porch is overall just in poor condition.
Is there any structural issues regarding that front porch?
Yes, severe deterioration, specifically on the lower components. That can,
And the photographs also depict a rear porch.
yes, there's also severe deterioration in broken structural components on the rear porch itself also.
You testified there are structural components in the rear porch, correct?
Correct.
Is it impossible potential collapse?
Yes,
Observations regarding any siding on the structure.
yes, this setting on the entire structure is important.
When you say poor condition, can you elaborate?
Missing sections, broken, just in general, all.
Any missing or broken windows that you observed?
Yes, several missing broken windows.
Any structural issues regarding the structure aside from the front porch and the rear porch?
Yes, there's several spots where the sill plate is severely deteriorated and almost non-existent.
Any issues with the roof?
The roof has a hole in it on one side, the other side is where the shingles are severely deteriorated.
Any observation regarding any trees or overgrown foliage?
There are at least 2 overgrown trees that are causing damage to the structure.
And how are they causing damage to the structure?
They've grown basically straight up or out from, directly next to the structure, which was some damage to the roof and most likely a big foundation, lower components.
Any accumulation of rubbish or garbage?
Yes, there's a large rubbish garbage.
Is the property secured?
This property typically is not secured through the front door. When I was up there to take these photos, the front door was locked. And I did observe a trail where individuals are coming up from Phone Street and most likely living in this.
Aside from the trail, did you observe any other indicia of human habitation other than the trail? See any garbage, recent signs of any human habitation?
No, not specifically, I have been sure recent. It does appear that, there were a few different areas where somebody was sleeping and had different things set up.
And does this property also have a history of code violations?
Yes.
Are you aware of the status of any electricity?
The electric services,
And same with gas service?
correct.
And all of the conditions you testified to violate the International Property Maintenance Code, yes?
Yes.
And based on your testimony of those conditions and the observations you made, is it your expert opinion that 253 South Ave is a public nuisance?
Yes.
I have nothing further, Mr. President.
I make a motion to declare 253 South Avenue a public nuisance.
Could I state that I did not speak with Mr. Lee, he is deceased. I spoke with his son, Stephen.
And I do think one thing's important here on the record, because you did mention it, that it appears that the police were there in January of 2024, and people were stated that they were renting that property at that time by our report. So I think that needs to be in the record. Okay, go ahead.
I make a motion to declare 253 South Avenue a public nuisance.
Second. Roll call.
Board Member Bell.
Yes.
Board Member Bowman. Yes. Board Member Radel.
Yes.
Board Member Pecora.
Yes.
Board President Fritz.
Yes.
Make a motion to adjourn the meeting. There be no further business.
Second.
All in favor of adjourning the meeting, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
I make a motion to turn the air conditioning back on.
Second.
God's sakes.